I'm Lucy Beaumont and I'm responsible for the Global Talent Management Solutions here at SHL. To gear our clients up for success in 2023, I'm going to take a look at the talent landscape and focus our attention on some of the key trends that are likely to impact businesses and specifically HR this year. 2022 was a particularly turbulent time for employees, for businesses and for society as a whole. We saw unprecedented employee turnover, peaks in employee burnout that surpassed those reported during the pandemic, and many businesses navigated a pathway from fully remote to some form of hybrid working. And we saw the war for talent amplified as businesses expended huge amounts in compensation to attract and hire employees. So looking ahead to 2023, it's anticipated to be a tough year, and the C-suite will be focused on three main threats. Persistently high inflation. 90% of CEOs globally believe that inflation will be a significant factor in their region going forwards, and the IMF forecasts that global growth will slow to around 2.7 in 2023. Reflecting back to 2021, when that was around 6%, we can see that that's a huge downshift. But any potential global recession is expected to be short, and predictions suggest that we could be coming out of it by the latter part of 2023. The second squeeze is around scarce and expensive talent. We've seen this trend in 2022, and it's likely to be enduring this year. And finally, global supply chain constraints will continue to disrupt businesses this year. So with financial uncertainty on the horizon, it's critical that organisations plan early and take decisive action this year. Decisions around the way you allocate resources and invest in growth become magnified. And under times of uncertainty and threat, it can become common to take knee-jerk reactions to reduce costs and scale back without mid to long-term analysis and planning to manage through the crisis. 2023 is shaping up to be a tough year. So what do HR need to be focused on to navigate successfully? Firstly, know that top talent will continue to leave. Sure, turnover isn't set to be as high as it's been in the last 2 years, but even in the toughest economic environments, top talent always have agency to leave an organisation. They always have opportunities. We know from research conducted by McKinsey last year that the number one reason that people leave an organisation is due to lack of career development and advancement. So with hiring freezes and budgets cut, HR will need to think about how they support individual development needs at scale and efficiently to drive retention. Second, our next area of focus is development, mobility and retention. In 2023, most HR functions will need to do more with less. We know that it's far more expensive to replace employees than it is to retain them. And so investment spend on development and on internal mobility will be an incredibly smart move for businesses and yield high ROI through increased retention, skills development, and the filling of those critical gaps through internal mobility rather than purely external hires. Next, we can't get away from the elephant in the room. An incredibly high proportion of employees are burnt out today. Over 40% of female employees reported burnout last year, and 1 in 3 considered actually downshifting or leaving the workforce altogether. The cost of a burnt out workforce are well reported, from reduced productivity, high employee turnover, all the way through to lack of innovation. This year, HR will need to have a strong focus on employee well-being, putting in place tools to support managers to better engage with and understand the people on their teams. Aligned to this, businesses have started to pivot to an employee-centric approach. We've seen a shift to focus on empathetic leadership and the importance of listening. Managers and leaders have been given greater ability to offer differentiated support to individuals aligned to their personal circumstances and needs. But with financial restrictions, redundancies and hiring freezes, it can be tempting for businesses to pull back from these employee-centric initiatives and approaches. Such a move is likely to be short-sighted and extremely costly to business success in the long run. Keep an employee-centric approach forefront of all talent activities this year. Findings of where HR finds itself in 2023 is the coming together of talent acquisition and talent management teams. These are functions that in many businesses have operated in a fairly siloed manner, each with their own processes, systems and data sets. But with HR becoming more strategic and a focus on internal mobility, we are seeing a necessity in joining up TA and TA teams, processes, systems and data. This is a trend that I'm excited to see play out this year, and one that will support HR in executing its people strategy. Finally, for HR teams to deliver a people strategy that meets the business priorities and goals, they need to be intelligent around workforce planning. They require data and insights on the people in the business to know where they have strengths and where they have gaps, where they need to focus development initiatives, and where they need to build or buy talent to execute their business strategy. As we track trends and make predictions throughout this year, we're likely to see changes and surprises that have not been anticipated. With clear and accurate data on the talent in the business, HR will be well positioned to respond to any changes that do occur. So there we have it, a whirlwind tour through an incredibly complex and changing talent landscape. We know that this year is going to be a tough year for many businesses, and we therefore want to support our customers to be informed, to be prepared, and to be agile in their people strategy. Thank you.